So today I'm walking in the town of Woodruff. Woodruff is pretty far south in Spartanburg County. And it has been a while since I've been here. So I got some cool stuff going on. You know, looks like a pretty nice redone restaurant space here. And if you see over there across the road, you got 5 different subdivisions on tap for you. The sad thing about Woodruff, which is the case with, pretty much any town in this area or in South Carolina or in the Sun Belt or in America generally, I mean, it's just so broadly true, is that although Woodruff is getting this huge influx of business and people primarily because BMW is building or already built, I don't know what the status is, a big battery plant or something in the Woodruff area, is that all the growth, or most of the growth, I'm saying, I don't know, 90% of the growth is going to be in the greater Woodruff area rather than in Woodruff proper, and definitely compared to Woodruff downtown, right? I mean, you're probably going to have enough people to maybe open up a few of the shuttered storefronts in downtown, which is great. But it's not like they're adding 10,000 units of housing to downtown. You know what I'm saying? The vast majority is going to be very, very suburban in nature and relatively disconnected from the town. You're not going to... These new 10,000 workers or whatever are probably not going to be able to walk out their front door into downtown. You know what I'm saying? So the downtown will benefit from more people and thus more businesses that are alive and functioning, and that's all great. But unfortunately, the growth is going to be just your normal sprawl. But on the whole, I mean, sure, good for Woodruff. More people, more businesses, more tax money, a more lively downtown, so hooray. Oh man, that is such a cool house. It looks lived in. I think there is a car in the back, but also a bunch of broken windows. So I guess the mansion isn't doing that great. It's finally getting to be the kind of weather where I really need to get a glove or two, because even just holding the phone like this to trundle onward, I can feel it kind of seeping into my right hand. The cold is. But that's alright. Nothing crazy. Nothing too bad. Yet. Duplex. That's cool. I like duplexes. Oh, well, a little smoke coming out the chimney. That's nice. Another very cool house. Branches are kind of in the way, but it's got a cool little turret going on. And clearly very nicely flipped or maintained or whatever. Another cool house, yeah. This has got even a little matching shed garage thing over there on the right. That's funny. I love this. This sign is so funny to me. No truck parking. It's like, where? What are you talking about in your driveway here? What are you talking about? You talking about here on the road? I'm so confused. And why would trucks park out there on the road? There's nothing around to park for. Was that used to be a massive screened-in porch or something, and now it's just part of the house? See the white siding there? Another cool house. I wish, again, I always find myself wishing I knew architecture and knew what the names of these guys are. I always, in my brain, I call these bulldog houses because they're squat and square, and you can kind of imagine them to be like a squatting bulldog. I mean, it's still an attractive house. If you can say those two things are both true, but I wish I knew what the actual style name was. Very cool. Castle Church, nice. Although, is it now a house or something, or a business? The sign over there and the little fence says Paul's Palace. And I don't see any church sign. And I see like a regular looking mailbox. So it might just be a private residence now. Or something. There's not really enough. I guess it could be parking behind for a business, but I don't know. Curious, something to look up. Cemetery, and beyond that, another very, very nicely kept mansion. Another castle church. This has got like a brick sign holding thing in the front here, so either it was part of the church or like a commercial place at some point. Yep, definitely glove weather. Big cemetery. Oh, duplex. Nice. I think. See, that's how you can tell a nicely done duplex. I mean, again, I don't really care about aesthetics, but, you know, it's the kind of duplex where you're like, is that a duplex? Or is it a single family home with just kind of two doors next to each other, right? I mean, it's pretty hard to tell. Which is good if your goal is to just, you know, not to give the NIMBY something obvious to scream about. So I think this is my first walk since we fell back for daylight savings time or whatever. It's really nice. I still woke up same normal time, hour before dawn, but instead of having an hour and a half to adventure and possibly eat breakfast and then go back home, got 2.5 hours. So lots more wiggle room. That's nice. Oh, one boarded up house, but the roof is very, very new. It looks like, so I think someone's working on that. That's good. Good for them. I think I've walked about 20% of Woodruff now, based on, you know, what my Wanderer app tells me. And that's included downtown and also included some further away neighborhoods. And my conclusion is the same as pretty much literally always. If I had to live in the Woodruff area, 100% want to live downtown or in one of these houses as close to downtown as I could afford. And honestly, it wouldn't be that hard to afford it, right? This is Woodruff. This isn't like downtown Greenville or something. It's just so nice to be close to a living area instead of just, you know, 5 miles out of Woodruff on a random subdivision somewhere. Oh, nicely done house. Kind of too far away for you to see it probably, but it's got a really nice blue front door for rent. Got some side yard chickens over here. That's cool. Big fan of that. One of these days I got to do a little more, invest a little more in some research on the history of Woodruff, because it's got a railroad track running through town, right? So I'm assuming that its initial, reason to exist was the railroad. I assume. I mean, might have been there before that. I don't know. Like I said, I have to do the research. But so I wonder. And then after that, they probably had like the rural 2-lane highways going through Main Street. So I wonder what the impact was on the town when the interstates were built, and obviously don't go particularly close to Woodruff, because all over South Carolina, a lot of towns really suffered once the interstates were built and the people were all rerouted. So I wonder what the impact was here. Because it's hard to tell sometimes. Hard to separate all the different factors, right? Because in America, in the last 100 years, you got so much going on, right? You have, just to list them off in no particular order, you have suburbanization caused by the invention of the car and wide adoption of it. You've got white flight, definitely a thing in the South, right? You've got building of the malls. So businesses move out of downtown. You've got just all this stuff. You got the shift from the train system to the interstates. Well, from the trains to the small rural highways, and then after that to the interstates. So you got all those put together. Sometimes hard to pin down which one or which combination of them was the one, led to the decline of a place like Woodruff in terms of its downtown. But right now, not looking that bad. I mean, you got some empties for sure, empty. But you got a nice, furniture store. See, this for me, this is how you know you're in rural small town. If you have a furniture store in your downtown, that either means you're a big city or you're a really small town. Because if you go to downtown Greenville, you're not gonna find a furniture store. You'll find a pub, next door, you have an Irish style pub. That's very much anticipated in a small downtown. Bank, sure, very normal. Greer downtown's got some of those. But a furniture store, right? Reminds me of downtown Clinton, in Lawrence County. They have the new, Anyway, they got a pharmacy there, very old school pharmacy. Been there for 40 years probably. Actually, Spartanburg has one of those too. Anyway, I'm sure that if someone crunched the data, you could tell how big and how vibrant a downtown was based on the kind of businesses in them, which is not to judge them, good or bad. It's just interesting because the smaller ones can truly be sort of more the hub of the area, whereas when you get bigger and more suburbanized areas, a lot of times it's just, the Walmartification of the area is sort of taking out the, small pharmacies in downtown, or definitely the furniture store downtown.